love and friends and family.
It's all about sharing a feast and cheers.
It's always been happy cause the children are dear.
It's all about peace every time of the year.
If only I could see your face again, not behind the screen at the other end.
If only we could party, kick back your boots, just let me.
Wishing Christmas time to be together.
It's all about the family. It's all about TNC. What? It's all about the family. Don't fret, don't sweat. You know what it is, cause you know and I know we'll be together
We'll
again.
go together to be together. It's Christmas time once again, and you know how we'll begin. Spread love and receive blessings from above.
If only I could see your face again, not behind the screen at the other end. If only we could party, kick back your boots, just let me.
Wishing Christmas time we'd be together again.
Wishing Christmas time we'll be together again.
The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel, Our Passion Transforms, a community channel that sees all things new. My name is Jennifer Nuya, live streaming from Cavite, Philippines, and you're watching Stories from the Fringe. Hello and welcome again. For those who are tuning in for the first time, Stories from the Fringe aims to push for more diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging in all aspects of our lives. We are committed to creating a world where individual differences like race, gender, class, ability, among others, are not only seen and understood but also celebrated. We believe that we can all be a part of this collective vision. In order to make the most of our time together, we encourage you to turn off all distractions, prepare to take notes, mental win, and just be fully engaged with our guest today, John Villaralbo. Today, I'm happy to welcome John to our show. Hello, John.
Hello. Hi. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for dropping in on the show. Can you please tell our viewers a brief background about yourself and the work that you do?
Hello, everyone. My name is John. Oh, wow. I'm a financial advisor by profession. I as much as possible, I try to meet new people, educate them on how to become financially well, uh, give them tips on certain investment related topics, how to make the right decisions in terms of their money and such. I'm a father of three, uh, and I also work as an HR and project manager for a private organization.
Fascinating. So, what's a day like in the life of a financial advisor?
What's a day like? Wow. How would I put it? Uh, it's exciting because you get to meet new people, you get to
Mm-hmm.
understand their financial situation, and the best part is you get to contribute to how can they become financially savvy. How can they, build good habits when it comes to their finances, and take them into a journey into reaching their financial goals, as small as it is, but it's the ability that you can help and educate them in terms of
Mm-hmm.
being the the financially savvy person that you want them to be.
Mm-hmm. Now, I wonder, do you have any study or research on how many Filipinos are financially literate or financially well?
From a research perspective, I would probably say I guess 50-60% of middle class income earners, they're financially savvy because they're really doing
Mm-hmm.
great in terms of managing their finances. But the better opportunity, if you look at the society, would be the ones below the middle class, because
Mm-hmm.
the side that they get, the inflation, the expenses, when all of that adds up, it's becoming a struggle for them in making
Mm-hmm.
sure that they would survive the next day, they would survive
Mm-hmm.
the next cutoff, the next payday. So to answer your question, the ones that
Mm-hmm.
belong to the lower middle class, that's where the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity lies to help.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you mentioned inflation, you mentioned expenses, uh, pe- that people in the lower socioeconomic bracket experience on a daily basis, right? And
Yes,
sometimes, unfortunately, some people they live the hand to mouth existence. Like if
correct, correct.
they didn't work, they wouldn't have money to eat, or sometimes
That's
they
right.
even wonder where the next meal is coming from.
That's right.
Now, how is or how are financial advisors like yourself helping these people become financially well?
But first, you gotta make them understand, or educate them on what's your cash flow. How do you spend your money? Am I overspending? Am I underspending? Do I
Mm-hmm.
have the ability to save? If not, then I need to figure out another way to generate additional income. And that's
Mm-hmm.
where certain products would become available to them, in terms of, that concept of letting the money work, right? Or creating a new skill for yourself, right? Getting enough education, or probably a side gig, to give them a sense of another cash flow that would help them manage their day-to-day finances.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So you mentioned um, determining their cash flow. So I would assume that is the first step to building financial wellness, or to go into your financial wellness journey. What are the other key steps to moving through that financial wellness journey?
So going back to the first step, first, you gotta know where you stand, right? How much money do I save? How much money do I spend? Once you have that figured out, it would tell you two things, right? Uh, am I on the path of meeting my financial goal for 2023 or not? If yes, then that's good for you. If not, then that's when the second step would come in.
Mm-hmm.
The second step would be eliminating your debt. There's two types of debt. There's a good debt and there's a bad debt. As much as possible, you wanted your partners, your peers, the people that you speak to have a good debt.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, when you say good debt, it's something that you will invest for education. It's something that you will invest for getting additional skill, right? The
Mm-hmm.
bad debt, those are the short term games. Meaning, you take out a loan, you spend the money for a shopping spree, go to a party or whatnot. Those are short term gains. It's not going to be helping you in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as possible, when you know your cash flow, next step is to eliminate any debt that you have, or try to organize your debt into a single structure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's step number two. How about step number three? Do we still have step number three?
Yes, the third step would be having an emergency fund. Emergency fund is really important. And the amount of the emergency fund that you need to develop would depend on a couple of things. One, if you're single, you'd probably need 6 months worth of your existing income. But if you have dependents, that's when it's gonna need more.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and these emergency funds should ideally cover any medical illnesses, any setback, if you lose your job, if your small business goes down. That
Mm-hmm.
emergency fund should allow you to continue to live comfortably for the next X number of months, X number of years, until you get into the position again of generating your income. So that's going to be the third, I guess, advice or tip that I would share to the group.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for that. Now, if we might digress a little bit, so you mentioned about eliminating all debts. Now, are all debts bad?
It only becomes bad on how you spend it. That's my thought process into it. Say for example, I'm starting up a business. I would probably take out a small loan to help me with my capital, right? But if I'm going to take out a loan to help me get a new phone, help me get a new bag, per se, go into a shopping spree, host a really fancy party that I know would not give me any positive gains in the long run, that's a bad
Mm-hmm.
debt. That
Mm-hmm.
I as much as possible, I try to stay away from those kind of situations. If I'm going to, if in case I need to take out a loan, then I would
Mm-hmm.
need to make sure that I would use that amount of money to either boost my current business or boost my current
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for highlighting the difference between the good and the bad debt. Okay, so we do the emergency fund, okay, for X number of months. So what else do we need so that we can complete the financial wellness journey?
Once you've developed you know your cash flow, you've eliminated your debt, you have an emergency fund, the next habit that you need to form would be making the right investments. And when I say making the right investments, it could be saving your funds into a bank, it can
Mm-hmm.
be investing your money into the stock market, engaging in UITF or mutual fund, so that it's you're applying the concept of letting your money work for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. And the reason why we're advising, or the reason why you need to be kind of venturing into that investment space, is you need to beat inflation. That's your number one. That's your number one risk. When I say inflation, let's put it this way: when you save in the bank, the bank gives you a certain amount of interest, right, on the amount that you save. But
Mm-hmm.
that interest is gonna be deflated, or is gonna be negated by the inflation. When we talk about inflation, it's the steady increase of goods over the years. Take this one for example. Say for example, you buy a meal. Right now you can probably get a decent meal for about, I don't know, maybe $5. But as you go down the timeline, that $5 can be a full meal today, that $5 can be a half meal tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's because of the inflation. Prices are going up. The amount of income that you generate is not big, or is not good enough to address the amount that's really raising the price market. And that's how inflation works. If you can't find the product, or a savings instrument, or a financial product that would yield interest, that would kind of counter inflation, then you need to make additional income streams, either investment, either UITF, or stock market. That's one way of kind of addressing or building additional income funds on top of what you currently have.
Mm, yeah, I hear you about inflation. I recall I started working when I was in second year high school. There was this one woman, she had a kiosk or a stall in Masagana supermarket in
Right.
Libertad. I don't know if it's still there. So every summer, because I didn't have much to do at home except be idle, so I decided to make some money, right? So I started working when I was in second year high school, helping them sell the RTW that they carry. And each time that I would get my salary, for example, I would get 1,000 pesos. Back then, it was a lot. I would be able to bring home 2 bags of grocery. And as I grew older, I've noticed that the number of items that I could buy for 1,000 pesos became smaller and smaller. And now, if you go to the grocery, your 1,000 pesos cannot even fill up one grocery bag, right? So that's how inflation works. It
Mhm.
diminishes your purchasing power.
That's true. That's true.
So the question is, how can we beat inflation, or is there a way that can we take advantage of inflation?
That let me kind of categorize that question. First, is there a way to beat inflation? Yes,
Yeah.
yes, there is a way to beat inflation. And the one of the ways you can beat inflation is generating additional income streams. Say, for example,
Mm.
you're going to invest in stocks. In the long run, that stock would go up, at least for the Philippine stock market, right?
Mm.
When you go through it historically, the Philippine stock market is growing positively year on year, right? If you're going to invest in stocks, it might be a long term investment, and that stock could be reaching 8% per year, 10% per year, and that's a good stock, right? When you kind of go through the timeline, if you invest 100K now, after 10 months or 10 years, for example, that money or that capital will be multiplied into 10% as a steady growth.
Mm.
That's one of the beat inflation, right? Uh, and I think the other question that you have in terms of if of inflation is there a way to stop it? Is that correct?
Yeah,
There's
yeah. Can we stop it or take advantage of inflation?
the only there's one of the ways to kind of, I would say, stop it or leverage the inflation is
Yes.
if you're a collector,
Mm.
if you're running a financial institution, because the only one of the biggest ways to stop inflation is
I'm sorry, but I think we lost you there for a bit, John.
can you hear me?
All right. Now we can hear you.
I'm not sure what happened with the internet, but
It's
from
okay. That
from
happens.
inflation, the only people that can, at least organization that really leverage on it, are the banks, collections agencies, the people that
Mm.
uh, runs their business on loans and such. Those are the
Mm.
people that kind of leverage or capitalize on the inflation. But is there a way to stop inflation? Uh, that's the challenge, technically, for most of the countries, for most of the global markets, because the global market dictates how inflation hits smaller countries. Like, say, for
Mm.
example, the gas commodities, diesel commodities, right? A couple of years ago, you go to a gasoline store, you can buy uh, a liter of diesel for probably about less than $1, right? But
Mm.
now it's almost twice $1. And who's dictating that price? It's not the gasoline station. It's actually the global market, and it creates ripple effects to the economies of the smaller countries. That's
Yeah.
that's how inflation plays into the global market. Is there a way to stop it? It would be, probably there is, but it's gonna be tough. The global markets would really need to think of something of controlling certain commodity, certain price, to make sure that it doesn't hit smaller economies.
Mm. Now that you've mentioned about the global markets, Warren Buffett, considered as one of the wealthiest people in the world
Hmm.
and himself an expert in investments, he said that what we're bracing for is something worse than 1929, right? And he said that we are facing, or we should expect, an economic crisis plus recession. So I don't know how that would look like, like a two-prong problem. Uh, at least I've read some things about the 1929 depression, and it really affected a lot of people. So I can just imagine how this would affect millions of people around the world. That is getting me worried. All right, but at least we are, what we're discussing here is one way of helping people to prepare, right?
Correct,
So
correct.
2022 is almost done. We're just how many days before the end of the 2022 to start
Right,
with
right,
2023, right?
right.
So you said that we can start investing. So we
Yes,
can go to
yes.
the Philippine Stock Exchange and look for investments that we would, stocks that we would like to invest in. But there are
That's
a
right.
lot. So for those people who are starting with investing, do you have any tips, tricks that they can that will make investing painless?
So from an investing standpoint, let me just categorize it into three pieces. One would be the stock market. If
Mm,
you're a starting investor, you can sign up with a brokerage company, whatever brokerage company that is, and then I would probably suggest that you do invest into blue stocks companies. When we say blue chips or blue stocks, these are the companies that would yield or they perform annually at a positive rate of increase. The other step or the other strategy that I would normally do would be cost averaging. It means you're investing a certain amount of money in a fixed period of time, say, for example, a 5 year period, and you buy stocks every
mm,
quarter, every half a year. And you don't look at the stock price. You just look at the end of the 5 year journey wherein that stock went up by
mm,
10% or 20%. That's already a win for you. That's part one of the strategy. The other strategy would be investing or partnering with banks in creating mutual funds.
mm,
Uh, they're technically managed by fund managers. It's less complicated. You don't need to go through technical analysis. You don't need to go through charting exercises and such. It's actually the banks that would do the legwork for you, or the
mm,
organizations that would do the legwork for you. Similar concept can be applied to UITF, wherein you kind of invest a certain pool of your money, have the fund managers hold the fund and invest into companies with other money or other capital from other people to make sure that they earn a certain amount of return on the amount that you're getting. Uh, Stay away from shady investments. And when I say shady, if somebody walks up to you and say, I can triple your money in a span of 3 months or 6 months, that's a red flag. That's an absolute red flag. When you go to investment, always check if it's too good to be true, then stay away from it.
mm,
You would never see an investment that could triple your money in the next 3 6 months or even a year. uh
mm,
at least that's my experience. Other companies would probably suggest, or there are probably other companies that may have done it, but in my experience in this industry, if again if it's too good to be true, I'd rather stay away from those kind of structure.
all right. Yeah. So if it's too good to be true, it must not be true. Yeah, I had also a harrowing experience regarding that. I have also made some investments, and during the pandemic, um, well, the only reason why I invested in that company that was supposed to be based and registered in Singapore is because they showed me a lot of papers and they looked legit. And I
Mhm,
also
mhm.
enlisted the help of one friend who is a Singaporean, and then I asked him, of course, we have here SEC, right?
Right,
And
right, right.
BPI, other government agencies where
Mhm,
you can
mhm.
look up if the company is legitimate. So
Correct.
everything at face value looked legitimate. So it's registered in Singapore, and then I asked for the registration or incorporation, letters of incorporation. Everything looks legit. And of course, I also took the word of some friends who went into the investment months before myself, and they also had testimonials that this is legitimate. So what I'm saying is, even some investors who have had experience previously, right, who are able to do their due diligence, they can
Mm-hmm.
still be victimized by investment scams. So
That's
when
true.
I was supposed now, because I put it there for a couple of for a period of time, a couple of months, and when I'm supposed now to get the principal plus the interest, the the website, everything, Facebook account, even the person, the Facebook profile of the owner, it they couldn't be found. It's like they just vanished into thin
That's true.
air. And then I asked my brother. My brother is also into that. He actually he was also encouraged by our other friends. So I thought that, yeah, this is something that I can put my trust into. I could put my money into, right? But again, I guess my lesson there is, if you are an investor and you lost your money in an investment and you knew for a fact that you did your due diligence, don't feel so bad about yourself. Don't think that you are stupid. Don't think that you are a fool, right? My only consolation is it could have been worse. I could have been the one who did that investment scam and scam people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that I don't think that I can live with myself if I did that. I won't be able to sleep at night peacefully if I did that,
Right.
right? So, but then again, that's lesson learned.
Right.
Perhaps I still have some more steps that I need to do to ensure that, yes, this is 100% foolproof investment.
Right. Right. And I'm glad that you mentioned that because for the last 2 years we got hit by the COVID pandemic, right? And the number of cases into scamming people into cryptocurrencies, for example. Nothing against
Mm,
cryptocurrencies, right? But cryptocurrencies is commonly being used as a platform for scamming people. Say, for example, you put your money
mm,
here, I'll put it into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and whatnot, and that money is going to go up by X number of percentage, right? If you're not reading a lot of or you're not doing research on how cryptocurrencies work, stay away from it. And
mm,
if you're going to try to invest a certain amount of your money, only invest the money that you're willing to lose.
mm.
That's another tip. So that it doesn't kind of give you a sense of loss. If you lose 10K today, that's fine. I can gain that again. I can earn that again. But if you're
Mm,
not willing to lose 1 million pesos, right?
mm,
250,000, then I'd be careful with it. I would really be doing my due diligence, making sure that the companies, the stocks, the mutual fund that I'm investing into are showing all the right paperwork, SEC registered. There's a physical office. I know the board of directors.
mm,
The people behind the team has incredible credentials that I know would make my money grow into a certain amount in a over a period of time.
mm.
That's how it kind of look into it. If I lose some money, it's a learning experience for me.
Yes,
I
it
need to do
is.
better next time, right?
It was really a learning experience. Well, anyway, that's life, right? You win some and
Right.
you lose some.
That's true. That's
And you
true.
oh, yes, sorry.
That's true. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
And I always say it could have been worse, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All
Yes.
right. So we're into the 30-minute mark of the show. So perhaps we can stop here for a quick word from our sponsors. And then when we get back, we'll discuss some more about having a financial wellness journey. So stay tuned, dear viewers.
All right.
Greenfield District, the future-ready district, home to Greenfield Tower. With its state-of-the-art fiber optic internet backbone, connectivity is built right into residences like Twin Oaks Place. 15 flourishing hectares right at the heart of Metro Manila, so that at work and at play, we can plant a future where dreams grow. Greenfield District, the future-ready district.
The News Channel is an online alternative new media platform of online shows for people on the go. Please watch all our shows as seen on the screen. Imagine having your own show, your own playlist, your own content, but we make it easier for you. TNC aims to transform the lives of our viewers through engaging, authentic, and original content. Our channel is a responsible, global 24/7 platform that showcases Filipino talent, global influencers, cultural intelligence, and ingenuity. Thank you so much for always supporting Stories from the Fringe, live streamed every Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Philippine Standard Time. You can watch us live or on replay via Facebook or YouTube. Follow us on IG, listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search hashtag TNC Now. For sponsorships, please email now at thenewchannel.com or send us a DM. Enjoy these life changing shows because we made them just for you. It's 17 days before Christmas. Wow. So our TNC Family Together, TNC Christmas Together 2.0 is already out. So we encourage you to watch that and get to know all the other hosts of the new channel. Wonderful. So let me at this point thank all our strong supporters, our viewers. Thank you to First Services, Fast Trainers, especially Anthony Philip Robles, and Lorraine Roy, Ira Cabrera Fernandez, Christian Deonor. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning with us today. So before we went on a short break, we were just chatting with John Villaralbo. So Jan is a licensed financial advisor and a Cash 101 alumni. So far, we have discussed some of the steps on starting our financial wellness journey. So number one is get to know your cash flow. Number two is as much as possible, eliminate bad debt. And number three is to create an emergency fund. And he also highlighted the need if you are able now to do steps number 1, 2, 3 to go investing. So let's call again John.
Hi, I'm back.
Hello there again, John. So we mentioned about how people can start investing.
Right,
Now,
right.
for example, I only have money for one. Like, is it investing or is it insurance that I should prioritize?
I'm glad that you answered that you asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when you've done steps 1 to 4, and say for example you're planning to move into an investment activity or habit, right? Uh, does it make sense to move into investment, or does it make sense to look at the insurance category? I would
Mm-hmm.
probably say consider the insurance category. Why? Because there's there's a plethora of insurance products that can help you with your financial journey. Say, for
Mm-hmm.
example, you wanted to invest. There's an insurance product that allows you to invest, but at the same time gives you an insurance coverage. Say something happens to you, you get sick, you acquire the critical illness, for example. There's a financial product or insurance plan that would address that situation. There's also insurance plans that are kind of like straight up traditional, covering your health, covering your property, your state, and such. So to answer your question, is it good to invest? Yes, it's always good, but you also need to consider other options that you might have. Right? And insurance is a good option because it gives you an opportunity to protect your income, whether it's your investment, whether it's your life, whether it's a non-life item that you wanted to cover. A lot of people often look at insurance as an additional cost. What they fail to see is the value that you get when you have an insurance program. It's basically a protection not only to you but to your investment and to your property
Mm-hmm.
as well. So I would also recommend that try to look for an insurance partner or an FA that can help you out, educate you on what are the best program that can match or that can fit your lifestyle that you wanted to cover.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. Now that many people are anticipating the release of their 30-month pay and in some cases bonuses, what are your tips on how to maximize their 30-month pay and or bonuses?
That's another great. And I'm glad that you asked. Uh, we're on the holiday season. Most, if not all, receive their 30-month bonus. First is you got to be thankful. You
Mm-hmm.
need to be thankful for that opportunity. Not many people get it, right? That's number one. You have to notice the opportunity and gratification. Second part is how do I capitalize? How do I make sure that I can multiply that opportunity again, right? Do I fall into a bad habit of doing a shopping splurge, getting into a bunch of parties, especially the December season? Or do I use that money so I can multiply it and generate additional streams of income? I would probably go with the second option. But before I go to the second option, I need to make sure I fulfill my responsibilities with my family, with my friends, giving them a small gift, for example, right? But
Mm.
the second part is can I invest? Can I reroute that money into something that would give me far better results towards next year? Is this something
Mm-hmm.
that I can use that I can be financially well for 2023? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself as to whether how important is financial wellness to you this
Mm-hmm.
2023.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you mentioned about Christmas gifts. Sometimes I feel that the Christmas season is over commercialized. Like when we think of Christmas gifts, it has to be material things. But
Mhm.
as I have learned about the different love languages, it doesn't always about giving gifts. Some people they
Mhm.
prefer to have more time with you. Some people would like to have words of affirmation or acts of service.
That's true.
Perhaps for your Christmas gift to be truly appreciated by the recipient, you can ask them, so what do you want for Christmas? It doesn't have to be material things. It can be like volunteering to babysit your older sister's son for a night out so that she can have some bonding time with the husband, right? So
Mhm.
it's not always about money and things that you can buy from the store. And then you also mentioned about perhaps it's not about buying something for yourself, thinking about how can I make this money work for me instead of me working for the money, right?
Correct.
Now I saw this one that was I think a year ago. There's this one news. It's a news program on TV, and they featured a sales lady, and upon receiving the paycheck for that period, she went instantly to uh, a boutique or yeah where she bought something for herself like a good blouse, right? Now while there's no judgment because I know that some people they can only buy beautiful things that they want for themselves uh during Christmas or any other special occasion, right, when they
Mhm.
have windfall because
Mhm.
most of the year they don't have extra money. But what I've realized is something what we call delayed gratification. Perhaps you need to delay what you want for now so that you can enjoy what you need in the future, right?
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
same with OFWs. Like most of our OFWs, they go, of course, to other countries away from their families for some months or some years. They miss many celebrations, the birthdays of their family members, Christmas, New Year, so that they can earn money. But when they earn money, and for example, in Saudi Arabia, they have this period of time during Ramadan where they have sale. All of the stores seem to have a sale, so they just grab all these things, electronics, things that they didn't have back home, and then they buy them. But when they come home, all right, they don't have any savings, and before they knew it, they're already old and they cannot work anymore. And they have nothing to show for it except the electronics that they bought, except the gadgets that they bought for themselves and their family members. Well, I understand that, yes, they want to splurge sometimes because it's hard earned money and they want to enjoy what they didn't have before. But perhaps, again, that's something about what you need versus what you want.
That's true. That's true. And just to kind of double link on what you mentioned, right? I salute OFWs. They bring a lot of value to the economy, to the country. They make a
Mm-mm.
lot of sacrifice, not only for them but also for their family. But at the same time, it's also kind of sad to hear that they work there most of their life, but when they get home, they suddenly realize I didn't have enough savings, uh,
Mm-mm.
and most of my savings have gone through different different I guess different types of approaches. Like, for example, I spent too much on this, but didn't realize that I need to spend more in terms of maybe an investment or maybe a health plan, for example, right? And it's
Mm-mm.
just kind of sad to hear those kind of stories.
Mm-mm. Yeah. And actually, when you look at the history of the Philippines, we used to have many manufacturing plants, right? And now, instead, of course we export some products, but when you look at it, one of our prime exports are our talents, our
That's true.
people, which is unfortunate because instead of these talents using their skills, their knowledge, expertise to make our country more prosperous, other countries leverage on that, right? So there was this time when I was younger. I have had many opportunities to go abroad, and I thought, yeah, maybe I should go abroad because I know some friends of mine, they are already abroad and they're buying up properties. I was still single. I'm still single, but I still didn't have a child then. Now I have a child. Okay, so now, I said to her, so maybe I should go abroad. But then she said, so you can contribute to the brain drain. And that made me guilty. And now I'm thinking, did I make a good decision back then? But I don't regret it because anyway, I think that I can serve, and I have been serving the country by being a law abiding citizen, and of course paying my taxes.
And I bet that was a good experience.
All right. So we're close to the bottom of the hour, John. Now, if there are any three things that you want our viewers to take away from this conversation, what are those?
uh just to one, make sure that you know where you stand when it comes to your finances. uh know your cash flow. Am I spending too much? Am I saving too much? Do I need to generate additional income stream? The only way to
Yes.
do it is if you know how do you spend. You track your expenses, and that should give you a good idea. Second is, once you have that knowledge where your money goes, next question
Mm-hmm.
is, can I make it work for me? And that becomes investing your money into different financial instruments that would gain better returns, right? uh, when it comes to financial instruments, it wouldn't hurt if you would look other options like insurance that would also give you life protection, one way of protecting your income, right? And then the third piece is know to eliminate debt. uh, Debt is a good debt. There's a bad debt. As much as possible, stay away from bad debt.
Mm-hmm.
If you needed to take out a loan, make sure that you use that capital to either boost your current situation from education perspective or help you with your business. That would always be a good return for you. But if you're going to use your debt for activities that are short term, then I would kind of stay away from it.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Very well said. It's been wonderful to have you on the show, Jan. So, how can our viewers stay in touch with you, follow you on social media, and learn more about your work?
Uh, you can my social media channels are Facebook and Instagram. You can look for me in Facebook at John VFA, and you can look for me on Instagram at John V Financial Advisor. My pages contains financial tips, inspirational quotes that would kind of uh, set you on your financial journey. And if you have need to do a coaching session or financial Q&A, what would be the right decision for me to take, I'm always here. You can reach out to me, slide the DM, I'll help you out.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yes, we need more coaching about financial literacy. So, dear viewers, please follow John in his social media channel so that he can help you start with your financial wellness journey this coming 2023. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much as well.
All right. So, dear viewers, thank you so much once again for choosing to spend your Thursday morning with us. So, see you next Thursday, December 15th, 10:30 a.m. Philippine Standard Time for our special Christmas episode. Our guest is the co-owner and vice president for business development and finance at Puzzle Box BPO Incorporated, a digital for good advocate and president and chief executive officer or producer of the new channel. You guessed it right. We will have Apple Esplana Manizala next Thursday. So thank you so much for being here with us today. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, depending on where you are in the world. God bless everyone.